Billionaire walks in his new black maid, dancing with his disabled daughter. What he discovered changed everything. The music drifted through the Manhattan penthouse like a spell, soft and golden, filling every corner with a warmth the home hadn't felt in years. Alexander Hale paused at the doorway of his private study, unsure at first if his mind was playing tricks on him. Then he saw it. His 10-year-old daughter, Lily, his fragile, gentle Lily, was dancing, not wobbling, not clinging to her walker. Dancing, her thin arms lifted above her head, her legs moving with a grace he had never witnessed. The same body that had always fought against her suddenly flowed like water, like music itself lived inside her bones. And holding her, guiding her, supporting her with effortless strength, was Naomi Brooks, the new maid he'd hired only 3 weeks earlier. The young woman moved with calm precision, spinning Lily in a slow, airy circle, her hands keeping the child steady while somehow making it look like Lily was moving all on her own. "I'm flying, Daddy." Lily laughed, her voice clear, clearer than he had ever heard it. "Look, I'm flying just like Mama." Alexander's heart slammed against his ribs. His legs nearly gave way. Those words, just like Mama. Evelyn used to whisper that to Lily when she danced with her in the living room, back before the metal scream of twisting steel, the shattered glass and the hospital doors closing forever. He had buried that sentence with his wife, or so he thought. Now it had come back, spoken by the child doctors said would never dance, never speak smoothly, never move without pain. But here she was, floating, laughing, dancing in the arms of a maid who was supposed to simply clean floors, wash dishes, and stay invisible. Instead, Naomi Brooks had just broken every rule of reality he believed in, and Alexander Hale, powerful billionaire, feared negotiator, man who controlled everything, could only stand there, stunned and shaking, watching the impossible unfold in his own home. Tears blurred Alexander's vision as he watched his daughter laugh, really laugh, for the first time since Evelyn's death. Naomi's voice carried through the room, singing a soft French melody. It was Evelyn's lullaby, the one she used to sing while dancing barefoot through the living room. And there was Lily trying to sing along, her words imperfect, but overflowing with joy. That was the moment Naomi noticed him. She froze mid-turn, eyes wide, panic instantly replacing the serenity on her face. She began lowering Lily, already bracing for reprimand. But Lily clung to her desperately. "No, no more stopping. More flying," she begged. "Daddy, tell her. More flying." Alexander stared at this young black maid, someone he hired to scrub floors and fold linens, holding his child as if she were made of light instead of pain. And in that instant, he made a decision no one in his circle would ever believe. "Don't stop," he whispered, voice breaking. "Please, don't stop." But to understand that moment, we must go back. 3 weeks earlier, Alexander Hale sat in his steel and glass office overlooking Central Park, interviewing his 47th housekeeper in 2 years. Lily was not easy, he had explained to the agency. It wasn't her fault. Cerebral palsy had made her childhood a battlefield, one she was losing. She threw objects. She screamed. She had bitten the last 3 caregivers. "We have someone," the agency representative said carefully. "But she isn't standard. No formal special needs training. She's only 26. What she does have is something rarer," Alexander scoffed. "I've hired the best therapists money can buy. What could she possibly offer that they can't?" The woman answered with just one word. "Heart." He almost ended the meeting. But desperation is a powerful negotiator. He agreed to meet her. Naomi Brooks arrived that Monday with one worn suitcase and a shy, hopeful smile. Her dress was neatly mended, her hair in simple braids, her posture humble but unbroken. "Mr. Hale," she said, extending a hand with quiet confidence. "Where is Lily?" No questions about medication schedules? No cautious interrogation. Just one request, where is she? Alexander led Naomi down a hallway lined with photographs. Evelyn at Lincoln Center. Evelyn teaching? Evelyn holding newborn Lily. He had left every frame untouched, a shrine he couldn't dismantle. They entered Lily's room, the room of a child who lived more with machines than memories. A walker, a wheelchair, adaptive tools, therapy charts, and in the center a small girl with furious eyes and trembling limbs. "Lily," Alexander began. "This is Naomi. She's here to—" "Go away!" Lily screamed, hurling a book that barely missed Naomi's shoulder. Naomi didn't flinch. She stepped forward, calmly picked up the book, and paused at its title, The Nutcracker. "You like ballet?" she asked gently. Lily went still. No one had ever asked her that. People asked about pain, progress, dosage, not dreams. "My mama danced," Lily muttered. "So did I," Naomi replied softly. "Before life changed my choreography." Lily stared, confused. "I can't dance." "My legs don't work." "Says who?" Naomi asked. "Everyone." Naomi sat on the edge of the bed, another first. No therapist had ever dared. "Well, everyone is wrong," she said. "Dancing comes from the heart, not the legs. And from what I see, yours beats louder than most." That moment was the crack in Lily's armor. Neither of them knew it yet, but everything had already shifted. For the first week, Naomi stuck to her duties, cleaning, organizing, moving quietly through the penthouse. But Alexander noticed the small miracles. Lily no longer screamed when Naomi entered the room. Naomi hummed familiar melodies while dusting, her movements strangely graceful, like muscle memory she couldn't hide. Then came the Tokyo trip. Alexander left for what should have been 48 hours. He returned early, 3 p.m. instead of midnight. And the silence in the penthouse was wrong. Too calm, too still. During therapy hour, silence usually meant tears. He followed the faint sound of singing down the hall. Not a recording, a voice. Soft, French. He stopped cold. Evelyn's song. He pushed open Lily's door and saw Naomi on the bed with Lily in her lap, both entranced by Evelyn's old photo album. The album he couldn't touch, but Naomi had somehow opened. "That's Mama at 15, Lily said. "She was beautiful." "You look like her," Naomi replied. "No, I'm broken." Naomi turned Lily to face her. "You're not broken. You're growing in a different direction, like a flower that reaches sideways for the sun." "Still beautiful," Lily's eyes shimmered. "Can you teach me the song? Mama used to sing it." "Songs are better with movement," Naomi smiled. "Even tiny ones." She lifted Lily with surprising strength, holding her securely, freeing her arms. "Reach for the pink clouds," she whispered. Lily reached upward and laughed. Not a bitter laugh, a free one. And then came the words that shattered Alexander. "I wish you were my mama." Naomi held Lily close. "No one replaces mama, but I can be your dancing friend." 10 minutes later, Naomi saw Alexander standing in the doorway, and everything changed. "Not no," Alexander said quickly, stepping fully into the room. "Please, continue." "I need to see this." Naomi hesitated, torn between fear and Lily's pleading eyes. After a long breath, she lifted the little girl again. This time, Alexander stood close enough to see the precision in every movement. The way Naomi shifted her stance, how she supported Lily's spine, how she rotated her hips to mimic natural motion. She wasn't guessing. She knew what she was doing. "How?" Alexander finally whispered. "How did you know her body could move like that?" "My sister," Naomi answered, never stopping the gentle rhythm. "She had cerebral palsy too. Different severity, same battles. We couldn't afford high-end therapy, so I learned myself. Movement was all I had to give her. Dance became her language, and—" "Your sister?" Alexander asked quietly. Naomi's voice softened, though her hold on Lily stayed firm. "Maya passed away 5 years ago. A surgery insurance wouldn't cover in time." The pain flickered through her eyes, but she didn't crumble. "I stopped dancing professionally after that. I needed steady work, insurance, stability. I told myself, if I ever found another child like her, I wouldn't fail them again." Alexander felt the confession settle in the room. Heavy, raw, and real. "You were a professional dancer?" he asked. "New York City Ballet," Naomi replied almost reluctantly. "Corps de ballet for 3 years. I was weeks away from a promotion to soloist when Maya got sick." She smiled sadly. "I chose her. I would choose her again." The room fell silent except for Naomi's humming and Lily's soft giggles. And for the first time in 2 years, Alexander allowed himself to believe in something other than loss. The next morning, 6 a.m., the phone shattered the peace. "Mr. Hale." A cold voice snapped through the line. "This is Dr. Patricia Hendress from the Manhattan Children's Therapy Center." Alexander's stomach tightened. "We've received serious reports," she continued. "Your night nurse documented unauthorized physical manipulation of Lily by a household employee. Mr. Hale, your daughter's condition is extremely delicate. Unqualified movement could cause irreversible spinal damage." Alexander closed his eyes, replaying Lily's laughter. Her joy, her clarity, her light. "Doctor, I was there," he said firmly. "I watched Naomi with my daughter. Lily wasn't in pain. She was—" "Happiness," the doctor cut in sharply, "does not prevent structural injury. We're scheduling an emergency evaluation. And for liability reasons, I strongly advise you terminate the staff member responsible. Immediately." The line went dead. Alexander stared at the phone. Rage building? Not at Naomi, but at a system that treated Lily like a chart. Not a child. He found Naomi in the kitchen, preparing Lily's breakfast. Oatmeal, berries arranged in a smiley face, a warmth in the routine no other employee had ever shown. "Mr. Hale," she said, voice unsteady. "The night nurse told me she filed a report. If you need me to leave, I understand." "Leave?" Alexander stepped closer. "You're not going anywhere. But I need the truth. Can what you're doing hurt my daughter?" Naomi met his eyes without flinching. "No. I check resistance before every movement. I watch her face, her breath, her shoulders. Pain and joy live differently in the body. When Lily dances with me, her muscles release instead of fight. I support 100% of her weight. She is never in danger." "The therapy center wants an evaluation," Alexander muttered. "They're calling your work dangerous." "Of course they are." Naomi's tone sharpened, not defensive, but unmasked. "Because if Lily improves without their $10,000 a week program, they lose control. They lose money. They lose the illusion that only they can help her. They treat her diagnosis. I treat her spirit. And spirit is what gives the body permission to try." Her words hit him harder than any medical lecture ever had. That morning, Alexander Hale made a decision that would explode through his world. He fired all 7 specialists, ending 2 years of stagnation at a cost of $2.3 million in contracts. Then he turned to Naomi. "I want to hire you," he said. "Not as a maid. As Lily's full-time companion. Whatever salary you want. Whatever equipment you need. I only ask one thing." He stepped closer, voice steady now. "Teach me. All of it. Show me how to help my daughter live again." Naomi exhaled slowly, stunned. The new chapter had begun. "Teach me what you're doing," Alexander said quietly. "I want to do it too." Naomi froze. She hadn't expected that. His voice wasn't cold or guarded like before. There was something raw in it. Hope, fear. A father reaching for his child. "You want to learn?" she whispered. "I want to be part of my daughter's life again," he answered. "You showed me that it isn't too late." Before Naomi could speak, a violent crash shattered the moment. Lily's scream followed. Both of them bolted down the hall. Alexander's chest tightened as they burst into Lily's room. She lay crumpled beside her bed, her walker tipped over, her small body trembling. Naomi dropped to her knees while Alexander scooped Lily into his arms. "I wanted to surprise you." Lily sobbed, pain twisting her face. "I wanted to walk to the kitchen. I wanted to show Daddy I could be normal." Alexander's voice cracked. "Baby girl, no," Naomi said gently, cutting through the panic. She leaned in, meeting Lily's eyes. "Lily, listen to me. You are normal. Normal doesn't mean being a copy of everyone else. Normal is being you, and you just as you are enough. But I can't walk. I can't talk right. Kids laugh at me," Lily choked out. Alexander's heart nearly split open. He had no idea. His Lily, his brave Lily, had been carrying that alone. Naomi took a slow breath. "When I danced professionally, there was a move I could never do," she said softly. "A grand jeté. Every dancer around me made it look easy. I tried every day. I cried every night. And I thought I wasn't a real dancer because of one thing I couldn't do." Lily sniffed. "Listening. My sister, Saria, finally told me something I never forgot. Naomi, you're judging your swimming by how well you can fly. I was measuring myself against the wrong thing. I didn't need their leap. I needed my dance. What if I never find my dance?" Lily whispered, What if we find it together? Naomi offered her hand. Starting now. Today's lesson is about dancing with the fall, because real dancers fall all the time. The magic is in getting back up. For the next hour, Alexander watched something no therapist had ever attempted. Naomi didn't teach Lily to fear falling. She taught Lily to dance with it. To own it, to laugh at it. She made the floor a partner instead of an enemy. She made getting up a victory instead of a failure. Lower. There, Naomi coached. Feel the ground. Let it help you. Push. Breathe. Again. Lily giggled as they rolled and twirled through a game Naomi invented. Princesses tumbling through imaginary clouds. Rising every time. Alexander quietly hit record on his phone. He didn't know why. Only that something important was happening. Something bigger than progress. Bigger than therapy. That night, watching the footage, he caught it. Lily's left leg, the one doctors said had nearly zero motor control, was adjusting. Tiny movements. Microscopic corrections. Not enough for the untrained eye to notice, but Alexander saw it. For the first time in years, he felt something unfamiliar bloom in his chest. Hope. Lily's brain was awakening in ways specialists had sworn were impossible. Not through charts, timers, or clinical drills, but through joy. Alexander stayed awake the entire night, Lily sleeping beside him on the sofa, her fingers loosely curled around his. He opened medical journals, research papers, and university case studies. One word kept reappearing: neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. He read about music therapy, rhythmic movement, dance therapy, and how emotional engagement accelerates neurological pathways. For the first time in 2 years, he felt something he hadn't allowed himself since Evelyn's death: hope. At 3 a.m., his eyes burning and mind racing, he made a call that would change the direction of his empire. Marcus answered, half asleep. Alexander. It's 3 in the morning. Is something wrong? No, Alexander replied. Something is finally right. I want a new division under Hale Industries. Healthcare innovation. I'm allocating $50 million to start. There are children like Lily being failed every day. And I'm done letting experts decide what's impossible. Before sunrise, he had built a blueprint for something the world had never seen. The Hale Foundation for Integrative Therapy, a center that would merge traditional medicine with Naomi's movement-based approach. Not just treatment, transformation. But first he had to walk into a war. That afternoon, Dr. Hendricks, 4 specialists, and 2 corporate attorneys marched into Alexander's boardroom. Their posture was rigid. Their expressions carried accusation, not curiosity. Mr. Hale, Dr. Hendricks began, sliding a thick folder across the table. We've documented serious concerns regarding Lily's welfare. Unauthorized physical manipulation. Alexander raised one hand. Watch this first, he pressed play. On the screen, Lily laughed as Naomi twirled her gently, her arms floating, her joy unmistakable. Then Alexander clicked to the next clip, the one taken during the clinic's last session. Lily was trembling, crying, her body stiff with pain while a therapist forced her leg into position. Her scream echoed through the speakers. Alexander looked up, voice deadly calm. Which of those children looks harm to you? One doctor exhaled sharply. Pain is often necessary, is it? Alexander snapped. Because in 3 weeks with Naomi, Lily's speech has improved. She's moving her left leg. The same leg your reports claimed was nearly non-functional. You measured her body. Naomi reached her spirit. A lawyer interjected. Your maid has no medical credentials. Then we get her credentials, Alexander said, standing. Because she is the first person to give my daughter progress and happiness at the same time. You will observe her work, document her approach, and help me build something better. And if any of you refuse, I will replace every last one of you with people who actually care about results, not ego. Silence. Then the conference doors opened. Lily rolled in, Naomi behind her. She had heard everything. Daddy? Lily asked. You're building a place for kids like me? Alexander's voice softened instantly. Yes, sweetheart. But you should be resting. No more resting, Lily answered, her words imperfect but strong. I want to help. I want other kids to fly too. For the first time, Dr. Hendricks' expression cracked. She stared at Lily, really stared. She wheeled herself here. The doctor whispered. Alone? With Naomi's guidance, Alexander replied. Maybe your assessments were incomplete. 6 months later, history had been made. The Hale Center for Integrative Therapy opened its doors. Naomi Brooks, once just the black maid in a penthouse, was now director of movement therapy, leading doctors who were finally humble enough to learn. 10 children enrolled. Within 3 months, the waiting list passed 300 names. Lily became the center's youngest volunteer, rolling from room to room, showing other children how she and Naomi danced with gravity instead of fighting it. A video of Lily's group ballet, 6 disabled children moving in harmony, went viral, worldwide. They told us what our kids couldn't do, a mother cried on live television. Mr. Hale and Naomi asked what our kids wanted to do, and that changed everything. Then came the moment no one dared predict. During a session, Dr. James Chen watched Lily closely. Her balance, her strength, her control, Lily, he said gently. I've reviewed your data. Your left leg strength has increased 300%. Your core is stabilizing. I think, his voice trembled, I think you might be ready to try something we never thought possible. Naomi froze. Alexander did too. Dr. Chen smiled. Lily, I think it's time we try to stand. Alexander Hale brought out a pair of forearm crutches smaller than a walker, demanding balance, strength, and courage. Lily's eyes widened. Walking? Real walking? Modified walking? Naomi Brooks knelt beside her. It's still your dance, Lily, just with new partners. She tapped the crutches gently. These two will help you fly in a new way. What if I fall? Lily asked, voice trembling. Then we make it part of the dance, Naomi said softly. Falling is just another movement. 3 minutes later, Lily would take her first independent steps. Alexander stood in the observation room, hands pressed to the glass, tears streaming. His board and a dozen journalists had gathered, waiting to witness a moment they thought impossible. Ready? Naomi asked. Lily nodded, gripping the crutches tightly. Dr. James Chen positioned her carefully, demonstrating each movement. Naomi hovered behind her, hands poised but not touching. 1, 2, 3. Lily pushed up. The crutches wobbled. Her legs shook violently. The room held its breath. Then she moved, 1 step, then another and another. I'm walking, Lily shouted, her voice clearer than ever. Daddy, I'm walking. Alexander burst through the door, kneeling 10 feet away. Come to me, baby girl. You can do it. Her face scrunched with concentration, sweat beading her forehead. Step by step, Lily advanced, until finally she fell forward, safely into Alexander's arms. Both of them wept. He with pride, grief, and relief. She with exhaustion and triumph. Mama would be so proud, Lily whispered. She is, baby, Alexander murmured against her hair. She is, and so am I. A year later, Alexander found Naomi dancing with Lily in the penthouse again. The Hale Center had expanded to 3 locations, helping over 500 children. Lily, now 11, moved confidently. Short distances with forearm crutches, longer ones with her wheelchair, choosing what suited her best each day. Naomi had become one of the most sought-after specialists in pediatric movement therapy, publishing research alongside Dr. Chen on their integrated, joy-based approach. Yet every afternoon, without fail, she returned to Lily, dancing, laughing, discovering new ways to move. Alexander had found something lost after Evelyn's death and Lily's diagnosis. Hope. Not the naive hope that life would be perfect, but the deep, steadfast hope that love, creativity, and refusal to accept the impossible could change the world. On the anniversary of Lily's first steps, Alexander walked into the penthouse to find them dancing to La Vie en Rose. Just as they had on that first unforgettable day, Lily stood on her own 2 feet, crutches set aside, holding Naomi's hands for balance but supporting herself through sheer strength. Look, Daddy. Lily called, her speech nearly perfect. I'm really flying. Alexander joined them, awkward, unpracticed, but dancing nonetheless. 3 people spinning slowly, hearts beating together, music filling the room. 3 people who had saved one another when each was broken. Thank you, Naomi, Alexander whispered over Lily's head. You gave me my daughter back. You gave me myself back. Naomi's eyes glistened with tears. No, you gave me a second chance to honor my sister. You gave me a family, Lily said firmly. That's what we are now, right, Daddy? Right, baby girl. That's exactly what we are. As the sun set over Manhattan, painting the penthouse in gold and pink, Alexander realized the truth. He could build billions, yet his greatest achievement was here. 3 broken hearts made whole by courage, love, and persistence. Some miracles aren't bought. They come in the form of a 26-year-old black maid with patched clothes, a suitcase full of dreams, and a heart willing to teach a father and daughter to dance again. Lily kept growing stronger. The Hale Center kept expanding, and every afternoon at 3 o'clock sharp, a billionaire, a former ballet dancer, and a little girl who refused to stop flying could be found, moving together through the penthouse, dancing like Evelyn had always taught them, not with perfect technique, but with heart, hope, and the knowledge that some things, like family and love, are simply miracles.